I've always loved the philosophy of less house and more gardens. And that's exactly what this next inspiring couple have accomplished, where they have minimized the size of their incredible roundhouse and maximized the size of their food forest, all on a 1/4 acre section. Hi Carmen, how are you?
Great, Bryce.
Lovely
Nice
to meet you. G'day Tim, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, good. Yeah.
And
nice.
what a spectacular home you've got here.
Thank you. Yeah.
So this is a roundhouse.
Yeah, it's a roundhouse.
With 24 sides.
As opposed to being a full circle like a yurt. You know?
Right.
At 1200 millimetres per side, creates a diameter of 9.2 metres. Therefore, we have a decent size house to raise our family of 5.
And can you talk to me about what it was that inspired this project?
Just trying to come up with a solution that meant we had more floor space for a family of 5 that didn't take up too much of a footprint on the land, because our real focus was about trying to grow food and fruit and experimenting with that. And then to experiment with the space of a round dwelling as opposed to a conventional square or rectangle.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Because the gardens that you've set up around this house, these are really exceptional, aren't they?
They are, and we're fortunate because we've got a great growing climate here. So we've put trees in and they've just gone bang.
Amazing.
So we don't really have to do anything.
Yeah.
And we have close to 50 fruit producing plants on the property at the moment, plus other medicinal herbs and ornamental plants, because we enjoy flowers and stuff as well. So, you know, we're trying to get a bit of a mixed garden going on. Yeah, you don't just have to have an ornamental garden for your landscaping. It's like, how do you incorporate food into your living landscape around your house, so that becomes the beauty of what presents your land and your house at the same time.
And all of that just on a 1/4 acre.
Yes.
Yeah,
Incredible.
Yeah.
And I think now, again, we have a cost of living crisis, we're coming into recession,
That's
possible
right.
depression on the horizon,
Yes.
and all of a sudden, building this kind of resilience into your life is taking on new meaning yet again, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it started as just a desire to grow organic food and know what it is that we're putting into the soil and what it is that we're eating. And now with everything that's happening on a global scale, it's actually, well, it's become a lot more valuable than just that.
You're in a great position.
Yes, yes.
And then, of course, an extension to your own wonderful garden is this incredibly imposing landscape that we're surrounded by here.
I
This is
know.
magnificent.
It is. It's very beautiful. We'll sit out here and we can see deer and tar up the mountain. The roar in the autumn is incredible. The deer roaring, you know.
Amazing.
So it's just this really raw environment. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And now let's talk about the house, because this is something really special, isn't it? First of all, what size is it?
It is 60 square metre footprint. These walls are 4.6 metres high, and to the peak of the roof it's a little over 5.6 metres.
Great.
We wanted to build the smallest footprint house possible and with the most space possible, so that then is a circle. A circle has more space inside it than a square or rectangle of the same size. It's 30% size difference.
And can you talk to me about the materials that were used in the home's construction?
We have used Douglas fir framing, and it's all untreated because you don't actually have to treat Douglas fir if you build an eave on your house.
Right.
And then we've skinned the whole thing with plywood and then clad it with Siberian larch. And then we've got New Zealand redwood under the eaves, like the sophites, and then Canadian Oregon fascia boards. Externally, we have aluminium clad timber window frames. And then we've got colour steel roofing and guttering system. That's pretty much the exterior.
And you've done something a bit different with your rainwater collection here, haven't you?
Because we're trying to build living systems, we have one downpipe coming off the house, so it collects to one point, and it goes into 2 ponds, which over summertime fill up with frogs and tadpoles and insects, and the birds go there and drink from it. Yeah, so that was part of that design for bringing more life into the ecosystem around the building.
Yeah, fantastic. And you constructed this home yourself, didn't you?
Yeah. fully reliant on myself. I did have help from Carmen and help from my father. He had recently retired, so he came up and gave a hand, and he's a plumber, so he did all the plumbing work. And so
Very handy.
So I was the plumber's labourer, and he was the builder's labourer.
Yep, great.
And then Carmen helped out wherever she was required, and and then we had a few neighbours come down and help here and there. It was quite a joint effort at some points.
Absolutely, that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Well, the gardens are magical. This house is beautiful from the outside, and I'm so excited to see what you've done on the inside. Can we check it out?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Come on in.
Come on in.
Oh, this is stunning. All of the timber really just hits you when you walk into this space. It all just feels so natural.
That's the effect that we wanted, didn't we? We wanted a really natural feeling home.
I was all about the red line plywood because it has a great colour when it's oiled. I think it matches the redwood ceilings as well. We've lowered the ceilings, so we've got 2-2 ceilings instead of standard 2-4s.
Right.
And so that's created this sense of snugness. We've got the earth floor, and so over summertime it absorbs heat, and then over winter time it releases heat, and we also heat it up with a hot water system from upstairs.
And the earthen floors just feel so good under your feet, eh?
It's amazing. And you hear people talk about clay floors and earth floors and how good they feel, but you have to experience it for yourself. Yeah.
And then you've got the bathroom through there, and I see you've even got the clawfoot bathtub. That's a bit of luxury.
Yeah, that was one of those lucky finds, eh? Yeah, couldn't help but buy that. And our bathroom's quite small, it's 7 square metres, but because of the shape of it, it's like a wedge.
Yeah.
It opens out. And so, because it's a wedge shape, we've managed to get a bath, a shower and a toilet all side by side in that room, and it all fits really, really well.
Yeah. And again, it's just styled so beautifully. I especially love what you've done with all of the plants in there.
Lots of plants in the house, it just helps to soften the interior. I think it's healthy too, for the environment.
And all throughout the house, you've got these wonderful earthen elements, the warm timber colours, the clays, and then you've got the copper as well. It's such an elemental space.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the copper was a natural progression really, wasn't it? With the tones and all the wood. And Tim always wanted a heated towel rail, didn't you?
Yeah, so we put in a heated towel rail. My dad made that, and Axel, my son, helped him. So, it was a bit of a joint project.
Yeah.
Great.
It's really beautiful.
And we flow water on it from the heating system that also heats the slab.
Right.
So that heats that as well. So it's,
So it's actually hot water flowing through there. It's not electrically heated.
No,
it's hot
And that's
water.
off the wetback from the fire.
Yeah.
That is so clever. And you've got the composting toilet there too?
Yes.
we produce a lot of compost.
Good for the gardens. You've got a food forest to grow, right? You need it.
It's amazing, for our gardens, for the fruit trees.
The compost, we don't actually produce that much. You think you're going to produce a lot of waste, but we don't.
It's been an adjustment for the kids, especially the older 2 15-year-olds.
Right.
But they're all right with it now.
Yeah, it's just a little learning curve there.
Yeah, that's right.
And through there, I'm guessing we've got all of the bedrooms. Can we take a look at that?
Sure, come on through.
All right. Oh, this is just so cool. Look at that. That is amazing. I love the way that you've created this window right through to the upstairs and then to the sky. That is just so neat.
Well, this is the central hub of the wheel. So the structure of the mid-floor is like a bike wheel. So that's why we get the effect of the ceilings being the way they are down here with the angles on the end of each one, because the ceiling's direct fixed to the joists.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we also knew that this area here would be quite dark, so we wanted to,
Create a light well.
Yeah, create a light well from the roof, and it actually works really well.
And I really like the way that you've done all of the bedrooms down here. It's just such an economical use of the space.
Yeah, because of the shapes, we have to think about, where do we open the bedrooms from? And so the logical point of view was to use the structure. So there's a post and beam structural detail in here in the centre, which holds up a lot of the floor as well, for the upstairs, and we're like, well, they just become doorways. And so that became the natural progression for getting in and out of these bedrooms.
Right.
Yeah, so this is our bedroom. So we've designed our bedroom and our daughter's bedroom to eventually be one big master bedroom at some point. So this wall here can come out. But actually, I don't know if we need to do that because the space itself, it's more than enough room. So this may end up becoming like a studio or an extra space for us at some time in the future, and our daughter can take one of the bigger spaces.
Yeah, and the positioning of the doors and the windows is really great as well, because again, it sort of gives you that feeling of expanse, and then each and every one of these rooms is just so wonderfully connected to the outdoors.
That's right, yeah. We weren't sure how it was going to work downstairs because we knew we had to lower the ceilings, and because of the shape, light was an issue, wasn't it? We put a lot of thought into that because we didn't want it to feel like it was dark, and so we knew that we needed to put more or less floor-to-ceiling windows in, and then just to have the doors as well, so there's access, there's that beautiful flow from the bedrooms.
Yeah, absolutely. And all throughout this home, I'm noticing all of these really beautiful stones. Can we talk about those? I've seen you've got some which are even into the concrete and just these wonderful little accents all over the place.
Yeah. Well, some of us in this family have have a bit of a thing for stone collections, and so from time to time, stones tend to show up. And so, there's a bunch we set in the concrete floor in the bathroom, and then I've got a bunch that I've polished up just as pieces, decorative pieces for in the house. Yeah.
I think it's just really cozy the way that you've done all of the bedrooms downstairs, and I'm excited to see what you've done with the living space upstairs. Can we check it out?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
All right. This is just so cool. I love the way that you've kept the space up here really open.
Yeah, the design was all about letting in as much light into the building as possible and having a sense of not being constricted.
Yeah,
when you've got towering mountains around yourself, having spaciousness in your environment is important. So that's a big part of the upstairs here, eh? Yeah.
I completely agree, because you were not joking about the views from here. They are spectacular. And you certainly have capitalised on that with all of the glazing up here. Adds a lot of light to the space as well, and just makes it feel just really uplifting.
Yeah, it's almost like we're in a tree house.
Yeah.
And we have established rhododendrons that were planted maybe 30 years ago. And so that was a big feature for the placement of the windows. We have Mount Turner, which is just in the backdrop there. So it's just borrowing all these beautiful elements of the landscape so we can sit here and really enjoy it. And it's really beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Gorgeous shapes created by the wooden floors, eh? There's something about circular geometry that just encourages such wonderful woodcraft.
Yeah. So the floors are recycled Remu. Carmen and we went and got that from demo in Dunedin, and we denailed it all by hand ourselves, packed it up and got it shipped up on the truck, and it was so worth it. And I was really happy to run my skilly along it and make some 45-degree angles on each end so that it sort of works out. The lines that are in the floor are actually north, south, east and west. So, we've got that sort of thing going on as well. Yeah, so that the north side of the house over there is between the two French doors, so it's, there's a lot of geometry going on indeed. Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
And that is a serious kitchen you've got there. You are not mucking about with that one. It's almost like a commercial cooker.
Yep, that's right. Kitchen's the heart of the home for us. We cook everything from scratch and preserve a lot of food. And so the kitchen was a really fundamental part of the design of our place as well, because we knew it was going to be an open space. So we sort of had to think about how we're going to incorporate it and how it would look with the rest of the living space as well. So we're really fortunate. We have an amazing joiner craftsman who happens to be a neighbour just up the road, and he was willing to help us with the kitchen. So he's done a lot of the joinery, helped us with the design of the kitchen island there. So on the end are grater blades, which we found on the property here. So before they put the tar seal down on the road, they used to grade the road all the time.
Sure.
And then they'd just chuck the grader blades onto a section. And so they've ended up as a feature on our kitchen table. So yeah, it's really cool. And also the metal and the wood element as well. You know, it's just really earthing and it feels nice, yeah.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the wood stove would be a cornerstone of this house.
Yeah, it's very essential for this house. Yeah, keeps us warm upstairs here. Actually, it gets too hot from that. But it has a really good wetback system in it, which heats our hot water cylinder and our underfloor heating over winter time. So yeah, it really is essential.
And we
cook on it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And do you have a secondary method of water heating for the summer?
Yeah, it's just at this stage it's on electric.
Oh yeah.
But we have a cylinder that has a solar coil in it, so it's a progression.
Yep.
Yeah.
Lovely and spacious lounge as well.
Yeah, so with the open plan area in the round circle, it's like you have to create spaces within the space. And so we have a lounge space, we have a kitchen space, we have our fire, we have our computer space, and then we have the stairs. And so the spaces have to really define themselves. I like records and I like my analog stereo, and so I get into that from time to time. And it's nice to have a couch and just have something that's comfortable.
Because there are 5 of us here, we've got 3 children, so, having a larger space that we can all fit into, because downstairs is quite compact, so it works really well in that respect as well.
Yeah, Anna can have her toys and she can be playing in one little section and build a hut there, and it doesn't impact anyone else, There's enough room for us to do our individual things.
And so how long have you been living here now?
Just over 2 years we've been living in this house. We moved in when it was just finished enough to move into. We're really happy to be in here now.
And we're still finishing things.
Yeah.
Like, we've not finished, we've still got things that we need to finish.
Yeah.
I think that's what they say though, when you're an owner-builder, your house is never finished.
Exactly.
Once you build your own home and you learn what that takes, then there's a lot more gratitude for what you have, because you're connected to it. It's not something that you then want to exchange or use for commodity, because you've put your heart and soul into it.
Yeah, because the commodification of houses I think is wrong. Because they're primarily shelter and a place to raise your family and live in, or however you want to use that space. It's not a piece of money in a bank account or something that can be exploited. So when you've made it yourself, you know that it's not something to be exploited. Yeah, there's no disconnect.
And this is such an unusual and really special home that you've created here. Can we talk about the cost that was involved in making all of this happen? Because I built it myself, there's no labour costs, there was no plumbing costs, because my father generously helped out with that too. But all up, it was about $250,000 to realise this building. You did exceptionally well with that, because you can see that quality really just emanates from this house.
That's right, yeah.
And so now, with the house relatively finished, with some ongoing improvement projects, what does the future hold for you both now?
We just enjoy the space, grow more food. My goal is to get a garden going that we can eat from for an entire year. So that's where we're at with that, and just keep improving and just enjoy being here,
Well, this home is just so beautifully built. You have done such a wonderful job with this space. And now, I just can't wait to watch your forest grow. Thank you so much for sharing your home with me.
Thanks, Bryce.
Cheers. Thanks, Bryce.
So nice to be here.
Pleasure.
Carmen and Tim have created the most exceptional home for their family here. This is such a beautiful space. It's made with such amazing materials, and you just get a sense of the quality and craftsmanship in this home from the moment that you enter it. But what I think I really love about this space is their desire to minimize the impact of their home on the landscape surrounding it, to maximize space for their gardens and for their abundant food forest to grow. And all of that working harmoniously together really has created the most exceptional place for them to now call home.